Recording started.
Welcome to the Facility Survey Training in MHPD. My name is Barbara Brown. Today's presentation will take place in two parts. Part 1 will cover the transition to ny.gov for MHPD. New York State departments are mandated to transition to ny.gov for login to applications. This year, the Mental Health Provider Data Exchange, MHPD, and the Patient Characteristics Survey, PCS, will both make this transition. In the first half of this webcast, I will describe what ny.gov is, how the transition to ny.gov will occur for MHPD, and two methods that agencies can use to register users, and when you will start using ny.gov. In part 2 of the webcast, I will be reviewing for you how to complete the facility survey in MHPD, which is the first step in the patient characteristics survey process. The PCS is the only OMH data source that contains client-level data across all public mental health service programs. As such, PCS is invaluable for managing New York State's public mental health system, and OMH relies on the data you provide when we comply with federal reporting requirements and assist local governments with mental health services planning and budgeting. Documents for 2015 are available on the PCS homepage. I'll show you how to get to that link later on in the presentation. So let's begin with part 1, transitioning to ny.gov and MHPD. We will be covering the following: what is ny.gov? How will the transition to ny.gov for MHPD occur? Choice of methods to register for ny.gov for MHPD, self-registration or registration for ny.gov by security manager, and next steps. What is ny.gov? ny.gov provides secure access to applications in one platform. The security is known as Identity Assurance Level 2, or AL2 for short. Assurance answers the question, how sure am I that you are who you say you are? Level 2 meets state and federal policies. Eventually, all state applications will be transitioning to ny.gov. Thus far, mental health providers have established ny.gov accounts for reporting incidents to the Justice Center and to monitor employment outcomes in the New York Employment Services System, NICE. Steps for transition to ny.gov. Starting April 8th, you would log into MHPD via WebSalute, as you have always done. If you are unsure how to log into the MHPD application itself, please see page 5 of the basic MHPD manual for specific instructions. But let's review how to get to the MHPD link. You will click on the provider's link located at the OMH website. That will take you to the Information for Service Providers page. You can scroll down until you see the link for MHPD. You will also see the PCS and SMS links. The PCS link is where you can access those 2015 PCS documents that I mentioned earlier. Now, clicking on the MHPD link will bring you to the MHPD homepage. This looks like this. You will notice a link to the manual is also on the MHPD homepage, and various other links for manual, for the frequently asked questions, definitions of terms, and so forth. After you log in, if your user ID is not already established in ny.gov, you will be redirected to a page that starts the registration. The page will look like this. Once you register, continue to log into MHPD through WebSalute with the same user ID and password or token. You do not log into MHPD through ny.gov until July 1st. Starting then, WebSalute will not get you into MHPD, but ny.gov will. Now, there are the two methods for registering for ny.gov. First, I'll describe self-registration. Like I mentioned earlier, once you log in through WebSalute, you will be directed to a screen showing register now and register later. appearing here before you at the bottom of the screen. The first button to the left, Register Now, will start the process. Once you register, you will bypass the screen the next time that you log into MHPD. In fact, if you already have an NY.gov ID for Justice Center or New York Employment Services System, NICE, you will never see this screen. In that case, there's nothing that you need to do to register yourself for MHPD. You would choose Register Later if you need your security manager to correct the email address that is shown, or if your agency decides for other reasons that the security manager will do the NY.gov registration for your agency. Later, I'll discuss how the security manager can register you. Now, once you select Register Now, you will be directed to a form to create your NY.gov account. It is pre-filled with information that your security manager entered into the security management system. Perform any necessary edits, complete the remaining fields, and select Submit. Note that the screen requests information from your New York State driver's license. When you click What's This, circled here in red, the application will show you where on your driver's license to find the information requested. Also note, driver's license and social security number are not stored in NY.gov. Rather, they are used to validate your identity and then discarded. If you do not have a driver's license from the state of New York, your security manager will need to register you an SMS. So once you submit your form, your registration is completed. The next screen shows your NY.gov user ID and reminds you to start logging into MHPD via NY.gov starting July 1st. Now, the second method, an alternative to self-registration, is for your security manager to create your NY.gov account. On the Edit User screen in the Security Management System, the security manager confirms that you do not already have Assurance Level 2, and then selects Set Assurance Level. The security manager may register you by entering the same information that was requested in the self-registration application, or may certify that he or she has reviewed 2 of the identity sources listed. The security manager will find instructions for creating your NY.gov account in the MHPD section of the reference manual found on the SMS homepage. The URL for the SMS homepage will be printed on the screen at the end of this presentation. So, when would your agency want to use SMS and when to self-register? Your security manager must use SMS to register new users for MHPD, to register people who don't have a New York State driver's license, to correct email addresses, or if your agency decides that in-person validation works best for you. Self-registration can reduce the workload for a security manager, an important consideration for an agency that has many MHPD users. However, the self-registration application is only for existing MHPD users. An MHPD user cannot, for example, obtain access to NICE by logging into MHPD and self-registering. So in sum, April 8th, registration for NY.gov IDs begins, including establishing your AL2 Assurance Level